In the picturesque city of Aurora, Colorado, Angela Craig was the embodiment of warmth and grace. Her radiant smile, devotion to her 6 children, and unwavering support for her husband, James Craig, painted a picture of a perfect life. To those who knew her, Angela was a beacon of kindness, a mother, a wife, a friend. But hidden behind this image of domestic bliss were secrets darker than anyone could imagine. What began as a mysterious health crisis would unravel into a tale of betrayal, deception, and a chilling plot orchestrated by the one person she trusted most. This is the story of Angela Craig, a story of love, lies, and a devastating truth that would shatter the illusion of her idyllic life. Born on April 15, 1975, in the bustling town of Dodge City, Kansas, Angela was the 4th child in a lively family of 10 siblings. Her wit, intelligence, and magnetic personality made her the heart of every gathering. Known for her captivating conversations and quick humor, Angela had an innate ability to make anyone feel at home. She was passionate about animals, even though allergies kept her from fully indulging in her love for them. Her creative spirit shone through in her pursuit of interior design, where she found joy in transforming spaces into works of art. Yet, above all, Angela cherished her family. Her siblings held a special place in her heart, and she was always the first to lend a helping hand to anyone in need, whether it was a family member, a friend, or a complete stranger. Angela's passion for genealogy became more than a hobby, it was a calling. As a family history consultant, she helped people uncover their roots and connect with long-lost relatives. She was also deeply involved in her church, where she served as a choir director, teacher, and youth leader, inspiring those around her with her energy and compassion. On December 18, 1999, Angela married James Craig, a man with big dreams of becoming a doctor. Their union seemed like the start of a fairy tale. James pursued his passion for dentistry, earning his doctorate in dental surgery from the University of Missouri-Kansas City in 2006. During his time there, he played a pivotal role in establishing the International Dental Program, which helped foreign-born dentists practice in the United States, a testament to his ambition and drive. By October 2006, James had established a thriving dental practice in Aurora, Colorado. Over the years, the couple built a life that appeared to be nothing short of enviable. Together, they raised 6 beautiful children, balancing the demands of James's career with Angela's deep involvement in the community. Angela remained the glue that held her family together, nurturing her children, maintaining close ties with her siblings, and even making time for daily phone calls with her sister, Toni, despite living miles apart in Utah. Their life seemed like a dream, a harmonious blend of professional success, family love, and community involvement. But dreams can often hide nightmares. On March 15, 2023, Angela's world came crashing down. At 11 a.m., she was rushed to the hospital after experiencing a sudden and debilitating headache, accompanied by dizziness and nausea. James was by her side, the picture of a devoted husband, as the medical team worked tirelessly to understand the cause of her alarming symptoms. By 2 p.m., Angela's condition had taken a dramatic turn for the worse. A severe seizure left doctors scrambling to save her life. She was placed on life support, her family anxiously awaiting answers as the shadow of uncertainty loomed over them. This wasn't the first time Angela had sought medical attention in recent days. In fact, it marked her 3rd hospital visit in just 10 days. Each time, she reported the same troubling symptoms, headaches, nausea, dizziness, but doctors were unable to pinpoint the cause. Now, her condition was far more severe, leaving the medical team puzzled and her loved ones desperate for a diagnosis. As her family clung to hope, a chilling realization began to surface. The symptoms, the timing, the rapid decline, it didn't add up. Beneath the layers of Angela's health crisis lay a sinister truth that no one could have anticipated. What had started as a quest for answers about her illness would soon spiral into an investigation that would expose a betrayal so deep, it would leave everyone stunned. Angela's tragic decline wasn't the result of a random illness or unforeseen medical complication. As authorities dug deeper, they began to uncover a web of lies and deceit that pointed to a far more nefarious cause. And at the center of it all was the man who had promised to love and protect her, her husband, James. What secrets was James hiding? What could drive a husband, a father, a respected member of the community, to betray the very foundation of his family? Angela's story is one of resilience, heartbreak, and the pursuit of justice. It's a reminder that even the most perfect lives can conceal unimaginable darkness. Stay tuned as we unravel the shocking details behind Angela Craig's final days and the chilling plot that shattered her world. Angela Craig's life was unraveling before her eyes, and those closest to her were helplessly watching. On March 15, 2023, as she lay in a hospital bed, her once vibrant smile replaced by a mask of pain, the mystery of her illness deepened. It wasn't just the relentless dizziness, nausea, and unbearable stomach pain that had everyone on edge, it was the fact that every medical test came back clear. What was happening to Angela? The day was a blur of panic and fear. Unable to reach her husband, James, at his dental clinic, Angela made a desperate call to her brother. Without hesitation, he rushed her to the hospital, where she was admitted around 11 a.m. Her condition was dire, her body trembling under the weight of an unknown illness. When James finally arrived, he appeared the epitome of a concerned husband, standing vigil by her bedside, but beneath his composed exterior, there were layers of secrets yet to be unveiled. If you found this story gripping and want more captivating true crime tales, subscribe now and hit the like button to support our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Join us as we uncover the most shocking mysteries from around the world. As Angela's life hung in the balance, a network of friends and family rallied around her, desperate to uncover the truth. Two individuals in particular, Ryan Redfern and his wife, were drawn deeper into the unfolding crisis. Ryan Redfern, a fellow dentist and James's close friend since their university days, had always been there for the Craig family. Their bond wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. When James's dental practice faced financial turmoil in 2021, Ryan had stepped in as a financial partner, saving the business from collapse. Now, as Angela fought for her life, Ryan and his wife felt compelled to offer their support. Ryan's wife, a doctorate-level nurse, was acutely aware of Angela's recent health struggles. She had been monitoring her condition from the sidelines, offering her expertise whenever possible. From the moment Angela's symptoms first appeared on March 5, 2023, after her return from visiting her sister in Utah, Ryan's wife had been deeply concerned. Angela's initial visit to the doctor on March 6 had provided little clarity. Standard medications and rest were prescribed, but her symptoms only worsened. By March 9, Angela found herself back in the hospital. This time, the severity of her condition began raising red flags among her friends and family. During Angela's second hospital stay, Ryan's wife reached out to James, offering her professional expertise. James, though appreciative, assured her that things were under control. But the facade of control was beginning to crack. On March 10, Ryan's wife followed up again, sensing the gravity of the situation. James expressed his gratitude and confided that the ordeal was taking a toll on him. Doctors had conducted an exhaustive battery of tests, including blood work, to rule out autoimmune disorders, diabetes, and other common illnesses. Each test came back normal. Despite receiving 5 liters of 4 fluids to address her dangerously low blood pressure, Angela's condition showed no improvement. Her blood pressure remained alarmingly low, and her symptoms persisted. With no clear diagnosis, doctors decided to keep her hospitalized for another night, hoping to stabilize her enough for discharge the following day. Over the next few days, Ryan's wife remained in close contact, checking on Angela's progress. James shared updates, revealing that additional tests had been conducted, including an MRI and scans of her head, chest, and abdomen. These tests were prompted by Angela's family history of brain tumors, but once again, the results came back clear. Angela was eventually discharged, her symptoms still a mystery. As she returned home, a question loomed over everyone's minds: how could a seemingly healthy woman be deteriorating so rapidly without any medical explanation? But this fleeting respite was shattered on March 15. That morning, Angela's condition took a devastating turn. Her dizziness and nausea were now accompanied by excruciating stomach pain. Unable to reach James, Angela made the critical decision to call her brother, who wasted no time getting her to the hospital. By the time Angela was admitted, her condition had escalated to a life-threatening level. News of her worsening state reached James, who rushed to the hospital. In a moment that seemed designed to evoke sympathy, James contacted Ryan's wife to share the grim updates. He even sent her 2 photos of Angela in her hospital bed, surrounded by the sterile chaos of medical equipment. To those on the outside, James's actions seemed like those of a deeply concerned husband, desperate for his wife's recovery. But to those who had spent years observing the Craig family, subtle inconsistencies in his behavior began to emerge. The medical team, now grasping at straws, decided to place Angela on life support. Her family was reeling, trying to reconcile the loving, vibrant Angela they knew with the frail figure now clinging to life. Angela's brother, who had been her lifeline that day, couldn't shake a nagging feeling that something wasn't right. Friends, too, began to notice an unsettling pattern in James's responses. His demeanor was calm, too calm, for a man whose wife was battling an unexplained, life-threatening illness. As doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize Angela, her loved ones began to wonder, could there be more to her illness than what met the eye? By now, Ryan's wife had become a critical observer in Angela's medical journey. Her expertise told her that the progression of Angela's symptoms defied normal medical explanations. As she reviewed Angela's timeline, from the initial onset of symptoms to the rapid decline, one unsettling thought began to surface, a thought that she couldn't yet voice aloud. What if Angela's illness wasn't natural? What if someone close to her was orchestrating this nightmare? The seeds of suspicion were planted, and the search for answers took on a new urgency. Unbeknownst to James, the people around him were starting to piece together a puzzle that would soon reveal the unthinkable. As Angela lay on life support, her loved ones prepared themselves for the worst. But in the shadows, a quiet storm was brewing. Investigators would soon uncover a series of chilling truths, lies that stretched back years, a web of betrayal that would shock everyone, and a sinister plan that had been in motion long before Angela's symptoms began. This was no ordinary illness. And the truth, when it came to light, would turn Angela's tragedy into a cautionary tale for the ages. Angela Craig's life was hanging by a thread. Unresponsive and on life support, her condition had spiraled into a nightmare no one could comprehend. Her family and friends were desperate for answers, but as more pieces of the puzzle came together, a horrifying possibility began to emerge. What if Angela's deteriorating health wasn't a cruel twist of fate, but the result of a calculated act of betrayal? The revelations that followed would unravel a web of deception that spanned years, exposing not only a chilling plan but also the dark depths of the man she once trusted with her life, her husband, James Craig. Ryan Redfern and his wife, already on edge after learning about Angela's stroke, were en route to the hospital when Ryan's phone rang. On the other end was Caitlin, the office manager at James's dental practice. Her voice was laced with unease as she recounted a series of troubling events. Caitlin described an incident from March 6, 2023, when James had shown up at the office late in the evening, despite having no scheduled patients. Instead of using his own computer in his private office, James had gone to an exam room and logged onto a different system, a highly unusual move that caught Caitlin's attention. Later that night, James had texted Caitlin about a package he was expecting at the office, emphasizing that it was for his personal use and that no one else should open it. His instructions were oddly specific, raising a red flag Caitlin couldn't ignore. On March 13, the mysterious package finally arrived. Caitlin discovered that a colleague had already opened it, but she quickly resealed it before handing it over to James. While doing so, she caught sight of something unsettling, a hazardous material label. The cylindrical container inside was marked with the words, potassium cyanide. Although unfamiliar with its uses, Caitlin assumed it was a chemical related to dentistry and thought little of it, until later. That same day, she saw James leaving the office with the container, now wrapped in brown paper. Her suspicions deepened, and curiosity led her to Google the chemical. The search results chilled her to the bone. The symptoms of potassium cyanide poisoning, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and dangerously low blood pressure, matched Angela's condition almost exactly. Still reeling from Caitlin's account, Ryan and his wife arrived at the hospital to find Angela unresponsive. Now deeply suspicious, Ryan approached a nurse and shared his concerns that Angela's symptoms might be the result of poisoning. The nurse, though initially shocked, took Ryan's claims seriously and initiated a new round of tests. At the same time, the nurse discreetly contacted law enforcement, knowing the situation was far too grave to ignore. Meanwhile, James, who had briefly stepped outside to take a phone call, returned to find Ryan and his wife gone. Alarmed, he called Ryan, demanding to know why they had left and accusing them of stirring trouble with hospital staff. Ryan didn't hold back. He directly confronted James about the potassium cyanide, asking why he had ordered such a dangerous substance. Backed into a corner, James admitted to purchasing it but claimed Angela had asked him to do so. He insisted he never imagined she would use it. James's explanation did little to ease Ryan's growing suspicions. Shortly after their tense phone call, James sent Ryan a series of desperate text messages, begging him not to share their conversation with the police. He claimed that Ryan's involvement would only worsen the situation and pleaded for discretion, arguing that the chaos was tearing his family apart. But Ryan's mind was made up. He contacted the authorities and shared everything he knew, urging them to investigate. Past midnight, police arrived at the hospital to assess Angela's condition and gather evidence. Angela remained on life support with no signs of brain activity, her once vibrant spirit now reduced to a fragile, unresponsive shell. The following morning, on March 16, investigators visited Caitlin at the dental office. She didn't hold back, recounting everything she had observed, from James's late-night computer use to the suspicious package and her unsettling discovery about potassium cyanide poisoning. Caitlin also revealed a disturbing detail. On March 6, the day Angela first fell ill, James had prepared a protein shake for her before work. He had proudly mentioned this at the office, portraying himself as a doting husband. Yet, it was shortly after consuming the shake that Angela experienced dizziness and began her rapid decline. As police dug deeper, more cracks appeared in the facade of the Craig family's seemingly perfect life. Ryan, who joined the conversation at the dental clinic, shared shocking revelations about James's past. In 2021, as James faced mounting financial troubles and the threat of bankruptcy, he had confided in Ryan about his crumbling marriage. At the time, James had even contemplated divorce. But it wasn't just financial stress or marital discord that painted a darker picture of James's life. Investigators uncovered evidence that James had been unfaithful. Emails and text messages revealed a romantic relationship with another woman, casting doubt on his claims of innocence. Most damning of all, financial records showed that James had ordered potassium cyanide online, paying for it with a credit card tied to his dental practice. By March 17, Angela's family made the heartbreaking decision to remove her from life support. As her loved ones gathered to say their final goodbyes, investigators intensified their efforts, determined to uncover the truth about her death. The toxicology report confirmed what Ryan and Caitlin had feared: Angela had been poisoned. Potassium cyanide was found in her system, and the timeline of her symptoms aligned with James's purchase of the chemical. James Craig, the man who had vowed to love and protect Angela, was arrested on charges of first-degree murder. Angela's death sent shockwaves through the community. How could a man who seemed so devoted to his family commit such a heinous act? As the case unfolded, it became clear that James's betrayal ran deeper than anyone had imagined. His financial troubles, his affair, and his calculated attempts to conceal the truth painted a portrait of a man driven by desperation and greed. But in the end, justice prevailed. Angela's story serves as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the brightest smiles. Her legacy, however, lives on, in the love she gave her children, the lives she touched, and the courage of those who sought the truth in her final days. As investigators dug deeper into Angela Craig's tragic story, the seemingly loving facade of her marriage to James Craig crumbled, revealing a chilling truth. Angela's mysterious illness was no accident, it was the culmination of months, perhaps years, of planning by the one person she trusted most. What followed was a tale of betrayal, manipulation, and a thirst for freedom that pushed James to commit an unthinkable act. Angela's sister, a key confidant, provided investigators with a deeply personal and unsettling portrait of the Craig marriage. While Angela had always put on a brave face for the world, those closest to her knew she had long harbored doubts about her husband's fidelity and character. James's history of extramarital affairs stretched back years. He had confessed to Angela about his struggles with an addiction to inappropriate online content since his teenage years, which strained their relationship even further. Angela had tried to forgive and rebuild their marriage, but James's behavior only grew more troubling over time. One chilling story Angela had confided to her sister highlighted the depths of her mistrust. 5 or 6 years earlier, Angela had suspected that James had drugged her. She had woken up groggy and disoriented, with no memory of the prior evening. Her suspicion? James had rendered her incapacitated to prevent her from discovering or intervening in his activities. Though Angela never reported this incident, it left a lasting scar on her psyche. Combined with James's continued infidelities and secretive behavior, it painted a picture of a marriage built on lies and control. As investigators examined James's digital history, the evidence against him became damning. The search terms alone were enough to raise alarms, but the context surrounding them was even more sinister. How many grams of pure arsenic does it take to kill a human? Can arsenic be detected in an autopsy? Top 5 undetectable poisons that don't show signs of murder. These weren't idle curiosities, they were the calculated steps of a man plotting something horrific. Further incriminating evidence came from James's Amazon purchases, including a vial of 99.999% crystalline metalloid arsenic, a chemical explicitly labeled as fatal if ingested. Investigators found receipts confirming the purchase, as well as shipping information linking the delivery directly to James. Perhaps most chilling were the YouTube videos James had watched, which included detailed tutorials on the effects of poisons like cyanide and arsenic and how to administer them without leaving evidence. As police pieced together James's motives, a disturbing picture emerged. Financial records revealed that James was drowning in debt. His dental practice, once a thriving business, had been hemorrhaging money for years. Ryan Redfern's financial intervention in 2021 had only delayed the inevitable. James's financial desperation was compounded by his crumbling marriage. In December 2022, he had asked Angela for a divorce, but her refusal, and her insistence on retaining custody of their 6 children, left him trapped. He knew that a divorce would not only cost him financially but also destroy his reputation within the community. This confluence of factors, money, infidelity, and his desire to escape the constraints of his marriage, pushed James to take drastic action. Poisoning Angela would eliminate her as an obstacle and allow him to start a new life unencumbered. The investigation revealed a heartbreaking timeline of Angela's final days. On March 6, 2023, James had prepared a protein shake for her, an act he had proudly mentioned to Caitlin at the office. Within hours of consuming the shake, Angela began experiencing dizziness and nausea. Her symptoms persisted for days, prompting multiple hospital visits, but each time, doctors were unable to identify the cause. James's behavior during this time was disturbingly calm. He played the role of a concerned husband, staying by Angela's side and offering updates to family and friends. But behind the scenes, James continued his sinister work. Records showed that he had ordered potassium cyanide online shortly after Angela's first hospital visit. When questioned by Ryan about the substance, James claimed Angela had asked him to purchase it, a lie that quickly unraveled under scrutiny. The toxicology report confirmed the worst: Angela had been poisoned with both arsenic and potassium cyanide. The levels in her system left no doubt that this was a deliberate act. Police arrested James Craig on charges of first-degree murder, and the case quickly gained national attention. The once respected dentist and family man was now the center of a media storm, his chilling double life laid bare for all to see. The courtroom became the stage for one of the most emotionally charged trials in recent memory. Prosecutors presented a mountain of evidence. The search history. The Amazon purchases. Testimony from Caitlin, who described the suspicious package and James's strange behavior. The toxicology report confirming the presence of arsenic and potassium cyanide in Angela's system. Angela's sister and children testified, painting a vivid picture of a devoted mother and wife who had endured years of manipulation and betrayal. Their testimony underscored the profound loss felt by all who knew her. James's defense team attempted to argue that Angela had a history of mental health struggles and might have poisoned herself. But the prosecution dismantled this narrative, using text messages, witness testimony, and James's own actions to prove his guilt. After weeks of harrowing testimony, the jury returned a verdict: guilty on all charges. James Craig was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For Angela's family, the verdict brought some measure of closure, but the scars of her loss remained. Her children, now forced to grow up without their mother, struggled to rebuild their lives. If you found this story gripping and want more captivating true crime tales, subscribe now and hit the like button to support our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Join us as we uncover the most shocking mysteries from around the world. Angela's story serves as a sobering reminder of the darkness that can hide behind a carefully constructed image. Her legacy, however, endures in the lives she touched and the love she gave so freely. Angela Craig's tragic story didn't end with her untimely death. As the investigation continued, shocking revelations kept emerging, painting an even more sinister picture of James Craig's motivations and actions. The facade of a happy family man had been completely shattered, leaving behind a trail of deceit, heartbreak, and unanswered questions. The discovery of James's relationship with Karen, the Texas orthodontist, was a turning point in the investigation. Karen, who had recently filed for divorce from her own spouse, became an unwitting player in the dark narrative unfolding in Colorado. Emails between James and Karen revealed a passionate affair that spanned months, if not years. Karen had believed James was separated from Angela and on the verge of divorce. She described him as a loving father and hard-working professional, unaware of the web of lies he had spun. Investigators found evidence that James had been planning a life with Karen, even discussing a potential move to Texas to start anew. But Karen's connection to the case wasn't just emotional. Financial records showed that James had purchased the arsenic and potassium cyanide around the same time he had booked flights to visit Karen. The proximity of these events made it clear to investigators, Angela's poisoning wasn't just an act of desperation, it was premeditated. The Craig children, ages ranging from 8 to 20, faced an unimaginable reality. Their mother was gone, and their father was now accused of her murder. Interviews with the children revealed the heartbreaking duality of their upbringing. The older children, especially the eldest daughter, expressed lingering doubts about their father's behavior. She recounted instances where James would belittle Angela in private while maintaining a doting husband image in public. Despite this, none of the children had suspected their father capable of such a heinous act. In court filings, the children made it clear they wanted nothing to do with James. They chose to live with Angela's sister, who vowed to provide them with the love and stability they desperately needed. As investigators delved deeper into James's finances, they uncovered the precarious state of the Craig household. Beyond the $2 million debt tied to James's failing dental practice, there were credit card statements showing extravagant spending, hotel stays, luxury items, and trips James had taken alone or with Karen. The most chilling discovery came in the form of 3 life insurance policies taken out in Angela's name. Combined, these policies totaled nearly $3 million. Prosecutors believed James had counted on Angela's death to pay off his mounting debts and fund his new life with Karen. Emails between James and his financial advisor revealed a troubling obsession with these policies. Just weeks before Angela's hospitalization, James had inquired about the payout timeline for one of the policies, citing urgent financial needs. Angela's family, while grappling with their loss, chose to focus on honoring her memory. Her sister described Angela as a beacon of light whose life was defined by her love for her children, her passion for helping others, and her unwavering faith. Angela's decision to donate her organs gave life to several individuals across the country. A single mother received Angela's heart, a teenage boy received her kidneys, and her liver saved a father of 3. While her family mourned her loss, they took solace in knowing that Angela's generosity had brought hope to others. In the lead-up to James's trial in December 2024, the case garnered national attention. True crime enthusiasts and media outlets followed every development, dissecting James's calculated plan and the chilling psychology behind his actions. The prosecution built a compelling case, presenting the toxicology reports confirming Angela had been poisoned with both arsenic and potassium cyanide. Search histories detailing James's research on undetectable poisons and murder methods. Testimony from Caitlin, the office manager, who had discovered the potassium cyanide package and alerted authorities. Emails and receipts tying James's arsenic purchase to his dental practice and home. Evidence of James's affair with Karen and his plans to start a new life. James's defense team argued that Angela had a history of mental health struggles and had poisoned herself in a desperate cry for help. But the prosecution countered with testimony from Angela's family and friends, who described her as happy, strong, and devoted to her children. The trial lasted 6 weeks, with emotional testimonies from Angela's children and her sister bringing the courtroom to tears. The jury deliberated for just 2 days before delivering their verdict, guilty of first-degree murder. James Craig was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge, in his closing remarks, condemned James's actions as a betrayal of the deepest trust, a husband's duty to protect his wife. Angela's family established the Angela Craig Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to supporting victims of domestic abuse and advocating for stronger laws to protect individuals in toxic relationships. The Craig children, though forever scarred by the tragedy, found strength in their mother's memory. They became vocal advocates for organ donation, sharing Angela's story to inspire others. Angela Craig's life was marked by love, resilience, and sacrifice. While her story ended in tragedy, her legacy endures in the lives she touched and the awareness her case brought to the hidden dangers within seemingly perfect families. Her name now stands as a reminder to trust one's instincts, seek help in times of crisis, and cherish the people who truly have our best interests at heart. If you found this story gripping and want more captivating true crime tales, subscribe now and hit the like button to support our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Join us as we uncover the most shocking mysteries from around the world.